You guys won't believe what just happened to me right now, okay? You can probably see it by my hair. I just got out the shower, man. I just got out the shower, and guess what? What happens when I get in the shower? What happens usually? Jeff Petry gets traded. That's what happens when I take showers nowadays. You remember last time I was in the shower? I missed the entirety of the Eric Carlson situation, the fact that Jeff Petry got back in Montreal, and now I get back in the shower. Not for the first time since then, don't worry. But Jeff Petry gets traded again. I get out of it, take my phone, receive some messages. Jeff Petry is going to the Detroit Red Wings. I'm never taking showers ever again. Can't use. Can you please stop waiting for me to go in the shower to make trade happens? After it, I'm late on everything. I'm just like, what's going on? I read tweets. Everybody already made videos talking about it. And I'm just like, all right, this is fun. This is really fun. But yes, doesn't change the fact that Jeff Petry just got traded to the Detroit Red Wings. And the return is a bit disappointing. Is it because we had our expectations too high? Or is it just because Jeff Petry... the Habs weren't able to get any good offers for Jeff Petry, and they didn't want to let him play for the team because of the situation and the little, not beef, but like there was a bit of an awkward situation going around with Jeff Petry and the Montreal Canadiens. So maybe it's just for that. They had no intention of letting Jeff Petry play on the team, and they just took any trades that would make a tiny bit of sense just to get rid of him. I have no idea. But yeah, before getting into the details of the trade, I invite you guys to subscribe if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 5K subscribers before the start of the NHL season. We're getting really, really close. 75% of people watching the videos aren't subscribed. So if you could help me out by subscribing, that would absolutely mean the world to me, as well as the like button. Let's try and get 125 likes for the trade of Jeff Petry. So yeah. Let's get right into the details of this trade. So the Montreal Canadiens traded Jeff Petry to the Detroit Red Wings. Montreal acquires Gustav Lidstrom and a conditional 4th round pick. And as you can see it right here, 50% of Jeff Petry's salary cap is going to be retained by the Montreal Canadiens. The Pittsburgh Penguins already had 25% of that cap space. So yes, that means that the Detroit Red Wings only have to pay 25% of the cap space of Jeff Petry. So this is a pretty good trade for the Red Wings. I mean, they are getting into a place where they want to contend for the playoff. They want to contend for a Stanley Cup. They acquired Alex DeBrincat. They have a lot of great young guys. They have a pretty good defensive core as well. So getting a guy like Jeff Petry, maybe to play with a guy like Ben Chirot, who they already played together a couple of games. It was pretty decent back then with the Montreal Canadiens. So pretty good move for the Detroit Red Wings. They didn't give out much, and they got a Jeff Petry at a really, really good salary cap. So I would give the Detroit Red Wings an A+ for this deal. It's a win-win situation for them. High reward, low risk type of trade. If it doesn't work, it's not that expensive, but Jeff Petry still has what it needs to be a pretty decent top 4 defenseman in the National Hockey League. And going back home, he's from Michigan, he's from Detroit. He's going to feel very, very comfortable over there, so it might help him get back to his former self that he was when he was one of the best defensemen in the Eastern Conference back when Montreal made it all the way through the Stanley Cup playoffs. So yeah, it's a pretty decent move. As for Canadiens' perspective, they do not get much. A conditional 4th round pick. Have no idea on what the conditions are on the pick. It still hasn't come out yet, and it's not in the article right here. It might come out a couple of minutes or hours after I finish recording the video. I'll put the update on the pinned comment as soon as I get it. But as of right now, it's not available. And Gustav Lidstrom, he's a pretty average NHL player, more of an NHL type of player. He can play in both leagues, get some great NHL time if needed, if there's some injuries. And like you know, last year, the Montreal Canadiens struggled a lot with injuries. So having depth like that on the lineup, like a guy like Gustav Lidstrom who's efficient, he's able to play some offense as well. He's a right-handed defenseman. He's been in the Red Wings organization for a very, very long time. So, yes, it's pretty decent. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. We expected a second round. We expected even maybe some people were even talking about maybe a first-round pick. That didn't happen. And logically, when you think about it now, it didn't make sense for the Montreal Canadiens to get a first-round pick for Jeff Petry. No teams would have wanted to give out a first-round pick for Jeff Petry just because the Montreal Canadiens had absolutely no leverage on this trade. The other teams knew that the Canadiens had no intention on playing Jeff Petry, so they just gave them some random offers, and Kent Hughes just decided to take one of them just because he didn't want Jeff Petry to be a part of training camp and start the season with the Montreal Canadiens. So, yeah, it's a pretty decent move. They got rid of Jeff Petry, and they got some free assets because they traded Petry for Matheson. Now they have Matheson, and they reflipped Petry for a 24-year-old right-handed defenseman that's pretty decent, a fourth-round pick, and you got rid of Mike Hoffman as well in the other trade. So this is really, really good. Kent Hughes making some really, really good moves to gain assets without giving anything much. So really, really good. As for Gustav Lidstrom, like I said, he's 24, 6'2", right-handed defenseman, 190 pounds. He got drafted in the third round in 2017 by the Detroit Red Wings. In 128 NHL games in his career, he has 2 goals, 23 assists for 25 points. He's a minus 33, but the Detroit Red Wings were struggling a lot in his first couple of years in the NHL. Last year, he got 1 goal, 7 assists in 8 points in 36 games. So this guy can play at the NHL level. He's most likely going to start in the AHL if he remains with the Montreal Canadiens. But if needed, if the Montreal Canadiens get a ton of injuries, just like last year, they're going to be able to play Gustav Lidstrom at the NHL level because he's a very well capable NHL defenseman, two-way type of player. He's great defensively, can play in the offensive zone as well. Great first pass. He's that type of player, but nothing too crazy. He's not going to become a top 4 defenseman. You never know. Sometimes there are surprises, but I doubt he will become a top 4 or an active NHL defenseman. But yeah, to get a player like that for absolutely nothing for free, alongside a 4th round pick, a draft pick, is just getting some free assets, free players. And it's always the right thing to do, in my opinion. Kent Hughes did a really, really good job by doing that. And just to be able to reflip Jeff Petry as fast as that, get the distraction out of the way, because everybody was talking about that. Do you think Jeff Petry is going to play? Do you think Jeff Petry this? And I'm practically sure that the young players on defense were just like, all right, I might not get a spot. They have Jeff Petry, and now that it's gone and done, we can move to the next thing. And the next thing is most likely going to be the goaltender situation. Will they trade Casey DeSmith? Will they trade Jake Allen? I have no idea. Will they trade Caden Primo? We have no idea. One thing's for sure is that they won't be trading Samuel Montembeault. I expect a contract extension coming for Samuel Montembeault. It's going to be interesting to follow. Will there be more trades to come? It's most likely. So yes, if you want to be updated with everything about the Montreal Canadiens, subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, share, do anything as you want. And I'll see y'all later for another video. Have a nice rest of your day, and bye-bye.